You were used to thinking that fresh greens and juicy fruits on your table were created by nature for your health. But this is a massive illusion. In reality, your plate is a battlefield for a cruel and invisible chemical war. Plants cannot run away from predators, so for millions of years they evolved, creating the perfect bioweapon. What we consider a harmless breakfast hides incredibly powerful neurotoxins and lethal organic poisons inside. Evolution programmed this food to cause excruciating pain, paralyze the nervous system, and ultimately kill. But the human brain malfunctioned. We became completely addicted to these dangerous natural defense mechanisms. We daily consume microdoses of chemical weapons, completely unaware of how close we step toward the edge. This is Trifacta, the channel where we tear off the masks from ordinary things and expose their terrifying truth. Today, we will shatter your perception of food. You will never be able to look at your refrigerator the same way. In this episode, why your morning energizing drink is actually a biological weapon of mass destruction. How a popular spice added to every second dish screams of pure danger while mercilessly burning your receptors. And which familiar sweet fruits hide a capsule of pure cyanide deep inside, capable of stopping your heart. We will break down food chemistry and prove food giants know perfectly well about these poisons but still sell them. You will learn exactly how your body fights for survival every single day, digesting the world's favorite delicacies. We will dive into the dark history of evolution to find the exact moment when humans fell into this toxic trap. The truth about the contents of your plate will force you to double-check every piece of food before swallowing it. Ready to find out why your favorite dark elixir was actually created by nature for absolute paralysis and murder? Then take a deep breath, forget everything the marketers told you, and we begin our deep dive into the darkness. Every morning, billions of people start their day with the ritual of drinking a cup of black coffee. Marketers have convinced us that this aromatic drink is a natural source of pure energy and strength. But let's look under the microscope and uncover the terrifying truth about this energizing elixir. The coffee tree never wanted to please humans with its taste or provide them with morning vitality. Millions of years ago, it found itself in conditions of fierce and ruthless competition for survival. Its leaves and fruits were mercilessly devoured by insect swarms, threatening total plant extinction. And that is when evolution designed the absolute perfect chemical defense weapon for this plant. In the secret laboratories of nature, an alkaloid was synthesized, which we now call caffeine. For any small pest, this substance is a pure, instantly acting, and extremely lethal neurotoxin. When an insect bites a coffee leaf, the powerful poison instantly breaches its nervous system. The toxin aggressively blocks receptors in the bug's brain, causing severe paralysis of its body. The victim completely loses spatial orientation, forgets the way to its hive, and slowly perishes. Caffeine literally overloads the aggressor's nerve cells, forcing them to painfully burn from within. This is not an energy drink. It is a cruel, highly efficient chemical trap for mass pest destruction. But why doesn't this deadly botanical poison kill a human being with the very first sip you take? The answer is hidden in our massive size and the liver's incredible ability to neutralize toxins. We are drinking a microdose of poison that simply cannot paralyze the enormous human body structure. However, caffeine still easily breaches the blood-brain barrier and forcefully invades our brain. There, this toxin seeks out exhaustion receptors and cynically blocks them, deceiving your body. Your brain actually thinks it is full of energy, though in reality, it is under a mild paralysis. Your heart begins to beat in a panic, trying to quickly pump the heavily poisoned blood away. This is the exact burst of energy you feel every single morning after a cup of your favorite espresso. The plant actively tried to kill you, but due to a genetic glitch, we became addicted to its poison. Furthermore, over time, your brain adapts to the toxin and sprouts brand new exhaustion receptors. This is exactly why you need an increasingly larger dose of caffeine just to open your eyes in the morning. If you abruptly quit drinking coffee, severe withdrawal will hit you with wild headaches and tremors. Congratulations, you are officially a hostage to the most popular and addictive neurotoxin
toxin on Earth, nature engineered a flawless chemical weapon, and megacorporations turned it into a massive seller. But caffeine isn't evolution's only deception. There is food that literally screams for pure mercy. Ready to find out why the fiery spice in your kitchen aggressively burns receptors to save itself?
We add hot peppers to sauces and meat to get that spicy, thrilling gastronomic pleasure. A spicy taste seems to us merely a bright culinary note that makes eating much more interesting. But biology argues the exact opposite. Spiciness does not naturally exist. It is pure pain. When you bite into a piece of chili, a brutal chemical attack on your receptors begins in your mouth. The main weapon of this plant is capsaicin, an alkaloid created entirely to repel mammals. Capsaicin has absolutely no taste or smell. It serves only one function, simulating a thermal burn. The poison molecule aggressively binds to the pain receptors on your tongue responsible for heat. They send a terrifying alarm to the brain. Our tissues are burning. Run now or we die in the fire. Your body literally believes you just put a glowing red-hot coal in your mouth, and it panics. Your pulse instantly quickens, cold sweat breaks out, and tears flow rapidly to wash away the toxin. For any wild animal, this intense signal means a deadly threat. A wolf will spit the fruit out immediately. The plant evolved for millions of years so that birds would eat its seeds, while beasts walked away. The thing is, birds do not possess those pain receptors. They swallow burning peppers like sweet berries. Birds spread the seeds over vast distances, helping the plant multiply across the entire planet. But the massive teeth of mammals grind the seeds to dust, completely destroying the plant's survival. Therefore, the pepper ignited a perfect hellfire inside itself to violently protect its future offspring. The plant literally screams in agony, "I am toxic, do not touch me," but humans prove to be insane. Instead of spitting out the dangerous fruit, we started adding it to every second recipe in the world. Why do we love inflicting such pain upon ourselves? The answer lies in the complex biochemistry of our brain. In response to the terrifying burn signal, the brain desperately produces powerful painkillers. A massive dose of endorphins, the hormones of joy meant to relieve stress, is dumped into the blood. When the false sensation of raging fire finally passes, a person feels incredible euphoria and a slight buzz. We have become biological masochists who deceive our own survival instincts just for a hormone hit. And global food giants know perfectly well about this glitch. They create sauces of unbelievable heat. Corporations are not selling us a flavor, but a highly addictive chemical roller coaster ride. The more often you eat spicy food, the more your receptors burn out, demanding even harsher trials. The chili pepper is a grand master of manipulation. It conquered the world by making us enjoy our pain. But if a pepper's burn is a total illusion, the next item on our list actually kills for real. Millions of people calmly chew these sweet fruits, totally unaware of the ticking bomb hidden inside. Ready to find out where nature hid a lethal dose of pure cyanide capable of stopping your heart?
Apples, cherries, peaches, and apricots are favorite treats for adults and children worldwide. We happily bite into the juicy flesh, fully enjoying the fresh and sweet taste of the fruit. But in the very center of this tender fruit hides an armored capsule filled with chemical weapons. The plant is willing to give you its sweet shell in exchange for you not touching its seeds. If you decide to crack open the hard pit, a ruthless biological trigger will instantly activate. Inside these seeds, nature carefully hid a very specific and dangerous compound called amygdalin. In its intact form, this element is completely safe and slumbers peacefully inside the dry shell. But as soon as a predator's teeth breach the protective barrier, a deadly reaction is launched. Amygdalin makes contact with the digestive enzymes and strong acidic juices inside your stomach. At this exact moment, a chemical explosion occurs, releasing pure hydrogen cyanide into your body. Yes, this is the exact same famous cyanide used by spies in glass ampules for quick suicide. Cyanide is the absolute perfect killer on a cellular level, acting incredibly fast and efficiently. It instantly penetrates the bloodstream and aggressively blocks the enzymes responsible for cellular respiration. Your blood may be completely flooded with oxygen, but your cells can no longer absorb it at all. The body begins to suffocate from the inside out, even though your lungs frantically pump air. Just a few chewed cherry pits can easily send an adult straight into an intensive care unit. And for a small child, a handful of such seeds could tragically become the last dessert of their life. The plant knows absolutely no mercy. It simply takes revenge on anyone who destroys its offspring. The characteristic bitter almond taste you feel when biting a pit is actually the smell of death.
Your instincts should be screaming about the danger, but the sweet flesh dulls your vigilance. Through centuries of selective breeding, farmers created giant, incredibly sweet apples and apricots, but they could never eliminate this ancient poison firmly embedded deep in the fruit's genetic code. The food industry stays totally silent about this, as accidental pit poisonings rarely make the news. However, toxicological medical guides describe thousands of cases of cyanide shock from simple fruits. Every single time you swallow a chewed apple seed, you are playing Russian roulette with your stomach. If the seed shell remains completely intact, it will pass through safely and you get no poison. But the slightest crack from your teeth turns a harmless little seed into a chemical mini-bomb. Now you know, nature is not kind to us. It defends itself using the most brutal methods of murder. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. There are several other everyday foods hiding a threat. Ready to find out what other daily treats in your kitchen can easily send you to a hospital bed?
Potatoes seem like the most harmless food in the world, but their green spots hide solanine poison. This is a powerful toxin that the plant naturally produces to protect its tubers from pests. Just a couple of eaten green potatoes will cause severe cramps and respiratory arrest. A pinch of nutmeg makes baking tastier, but in large doses, it becomes a heavy narcotic. The substance myristicin in its composition strikes the nervous system, causing terrifying hallucinations. The heartbeat skyrockets, paralysis sets in, and a harmless spice turns into a death sentence. The cashews we buy in stores are never sold in their original raw and dangerous shells. It contains anacardic acid, a highly caustic toxin that leaves horrific burns on human skin. Workers peel these nuts entirely by hand, risking their health so you can crunch safely. All this food has waged an invisible war with us for centuries, protecting its fruits from greedy hands. But did you know that right now scientists are creating new foods by breaking plant genetics? What will happen when evolution finally decides to strike back against our genetic laboratories? We are used to considering ourselves the absolute crown of creation and the apex predators on this planet. But the truth is that our plate conducts cruel chemical experiments on us every single day. If this episode made you look at the contents of your refrigerator differently, support the channel. Hit the like button, subscribe to Trifacta, and do not forget to ring the bell for new discoveries. Write in the comments which of these familiar everyday products scared you the most today. This was Trifacta. Be very careful at dinner, and see you in the next fascinating simulation.